The no thinking lifestyle, the power of not thinking. Now, as we just learned, there are things that seem simple to us and things which appear complex. In the simple situations, there is no need to think or make decisions because it is so simple. In the complex situation, we are often forced to think and make decisions, which causes us more work and stress. In the last lesson, we also learned that our minds are not very capable to think and make decisions. However, if we don't think, how will we ever learn and solve our problems? In this lesson, we'll focus on showing the difference between two different lifestyles, the thinking lifestyle and the no thinking lifestyle. The thinking lifestyle tries to increase our need to think and make decisions. It centers around solving problems by ourselves. The no-thinking lifestyle tries to minimize the need to think and make decisions by simplifying our lives. It centers around using technology and other people to solve problems. So what does a life of no thinking look like? Well, the first thing you need to know is no thinking does not mean you should just do anything that anyone tells you to do. It also does not mean to do things that you know are dumb. We will go into 5 key concepts that will better help you understand what this actually means. The first concept of no thinking is to avoid complex situations. In other words, when the consequence, outcome, or reason for doing something is unclear, you should avoid it and not do it. For example, if someone asks you to jump off a cliff for no reason, don't do it. Pretty simple, right? It makes no sense at all. Now, a more likely situation is peer pressure. What if a friend or even a stranger asks you to do something dangerous or something that makes you feel uncomfortable, like breaking the law, trying drugs, or even cheating on a test? Although they may sound convincing, your need to think and make decisions will immediately increase. You'll most likely have thoughts like, will I get caught? What will happen if I get caught? Is this person my friend? What would my parents say? If it's just once, is that a problem? Or is it even worth it? Now, if you're ever unsure or the situation is complex, most likely it's best to avoid it and to not do it. Complexity is a good warning flag to let you know when something might not be right. You would be amazed at the problems in your life that would be solved if you stopped when things got complex. Focusing on simplicity is another core piece of the no-thinking lifestyle. Often we get so stressed and overloaded trying to understand everything out there that we end up doing nothing. Well, let's take being healthy as an example. There's so many different types of weird diets and people telling you what is and isn't good to eat. Then on top of that, when we look to exercise or go to the gym, there are a million different things to do. Trying to find the perfect foods or the perfect workout can become stressful. Now, instead of diving into the details, thinking more, and making decisions, the no-thinking lifestyle focuses on simple concepts that you know are right. For example, everyone knows that we should be doing more of this and less of that. Before you start diving into complexity, just start with doing something simple. For example, start doing any type of physical activity and start spending less time watching TV. Or start eating any type of vegetable with each meal and cut back on the junk food you eat. There's no need to get into details when we can start with something that we know is right and that is simple. Utilizing technology is the next concept of no thinking. Imagine you are trying to drive from one location to the next in an unfamiliar city. Using the thinking style, you may try to look at a map and find out how to get there by yourself. You'll have to think and make more decisions like, which road should I take? How long will it take? What's the fastest route? And will there be traffic? In the no-thinking lifestyle, we'll minimize all the need to think by utilizing technology like Google Maps. Or maybe we're trying to find a good place to eat. We could drive around town and go looking for a good restaurant on our own, or we can just use Yelp, which lists the top-rated restaurants in that area. The next concept of no thinking is having a structured life of good habits. Let's pick something as simple as going to bed. Each day we have to decide when we should go to bed. The problem is there are so many excuses, other things to do, and exceptions we talk ourselves into that we often don't get enough sleep. We may find ourselves saying things like, "How long should I stay up watching TV tonight? I'll make up sleep another day. I don't feel tired. I really want to hang out tonight." Or, "I haven't played video games in so long." This can also be seen in a simple thing like trying to find out who to blame when something goes wrong. We have to start thinking and making decisions like, did he do it on purpose? Why didn't he do anything? Did I do something wrong? How much is he to blame? How much am I to blame? And was he the one that did it? Now, instead of having to make a decision every time the same situations come up, we can develop good habits of how we'll always act in a situation. For instance, instead of deciding every night the right time to go to bed, we can set a bedtime. So no matter how we feel or the situation, we will always go to bed and wake up at the same time. Or instead of trying to decide every time who is to blame when something goes wrong, we can develop a habit to not blame others, but to always look inward to see what we can do better. The last and most important part of the no thinking lifestyle is asking for help. When something is complex to us, one of the best things we can do is to find someone who can see it simply and ask them to help us. For instance, if you're doing homework and you don't understand it, instead of trying to work on it alone and thinking about it until you understand it, you should find someone like a teacher or a friend who already understands it and can teach it to you very simply. Or if you ever have a personal problem in your life, instead of trying to solve it alone with the few years of experience you have, you should find a parent or a sibling who is more experienced than you and most likely already knows the solution. We should never try to go about life alone. There are life mentors and experts all around us that have already experienced what we are going through, who are smarter, wiser, and have different talents and skills than we do. By asking for help, we can accomplish so much more than doing things alone without having to think so much and make decisions. Now, the thinking lifestyle isn't bad. In fact, thinking is something everyone does and it can bring good results. But what we wanted to show you is that there are so many alternatives that we can use instead of thinking that allow us to work less, worry less, and produce so much more. Throughout this course, we will go more into these concepts of a no-thinking lifestyle with the objective to simplify your life and make it easier. As a personal activity, identify 2 areas in your life that cause you to stress or worry. Explain how you can use the no-thinking lifestyle in those 2 areas to make it easier for you.